Well, hello and welcome to today's presentation. Launch your business with customer focused marketing. I really appreciate that you're joining me today. We're going to talk, we're going to talk a lot about how your marketing can influence and impact your sales in the sense of being more customer focused than more business owner focused. Yes, this webinar is being recorded. If you'd like to learn more about Grow with Google, this is a Grow with Google presentation. You can visit grow.google.com or grow.google/small businesses. And if you are out there on social media as well during the presentation, you can use the hashtag Grow with Google. So I'm really happy that you have decided to join me today. This is actually kicking off the first in a series that is going to run through the rest of the year on with our Grow with Google partners, which we here at SCORE are a partner with Google. Here is today's agenda. The first thing I'm going to talk about is the marketing funnel. And you probably, if you've been marketing or you've been running a business for a while, this is kind of the catchphrase of 2023 is the marketing funnel and customer journey. So we're going to be talking about that. Also, we're going to talk about how to reach prospects and create awareness. We're going to really break this down into all steps of the marketing funnel. We're going to talk about engagement and influencing those who are following you or engaged with your business to what we call the consideration stage. Oh, and I skipped reach and prospects. So what we're going to do also is talk about awareness, how to attract your new prospects and turn them into engaged visitors. And then, of course, we're going to pave the way for them to become paying customers through the conversion phase of the process. And then after that, then we're going to talk about building loyalty and encouraging advocacy. Your current customers are your best source for encouraging them to become your advocates, basically your brand ambassadors. And that's one of the key areas that I think a lot of people miss in the marketing funnel. And then we'll recap everything, and then we'll go into resources that Google has. For those of you who do not know me, my name is John Walker. I am the Chief Solutions Officer for my company, TE Digital. We're a digital marketing agency. And I have been a SCORE a partner for over, well, I actually look back, it's almost been 10 years with my involvement with SCORE. I was actually a SCORE client when my partner and I first started our business. And from there, we have always been wanting to give back to the small business community. So that's why I'm here in Boise, Idaho, right now, supporting the Treasure Valley chapter. Here's my contact information. If you'd like to follow up with me after the presentation about anything that we have talked about, I would greatly encourage that and welcome it. So don't feel shy to contact me anytime after the presentation. So let's talk really quickly about SCORE. SCORE is a nonprofit that's been around for a long time, and its primary focus as a nonprofit is to provide small business owners like yourself with services that are absolutely free of charge, like this presentation you're attending today. Offers one-on-one mentoring services, local workshops, whether they be virtual or live. And we love to guide you through the market or through your business journey. So it doesn't matter if you're just starting out at a business or you are established, SCORE services are here for you. We're looking to build long-term relationships with you. So you can visit us at score.org/Treasure Valley. So feel free to visit our website, sign up for a mentoring session. We'd love to talk to you. We have over 30 mentors who have a wide range of experiences in every aspect of business. So we'd be more than happy to help you. It also doesn't matter where you're located. Nowadays, because of the pandemic and everything, I think everybody is kind of used to working remotely or having conversations remotely. So no matter where you are, our SCORE office here is ready to help you. So I hope that gives you a little insight into SCORE. And as a quick show of hands, can you put in the chat box if you have currently used SCORE services? And just say yes or no. I'd just like to get a kind of a feel for folks in the audience. Thank you, Athena. Athena is a no. Yes, yes. We got lots of yeses. Sean, thanks for participating. And Dr. Jesse, thanks for participating. I see Christopher. Maybe there's an opportunity for you to check out SCORE. So I really appreciate it. And again, I'll have some slides at the end where you can get a hold of us. So let's talk about the marketing funnel and the customer journey. More important than ever these days, I feel, not only as a marketer, but as a small business owner myself, that this is really a key, I guess for lack of a better word, a key skill that you have to develop as a business owner or a marketer. So really diving into that marketing funnel and journey. And by the way, I will include a copy of the slides with this so you can follow along. Seth Godin, who's an author and a fairly outspoken person when it comes to marketing, has this really great quote. Great marketers don't make stuff, they make meaning. And I think this kind of will set the stage for how I think you should approach developing a really good marketing funnel and understanding the process. So it's not always about the product or service that we have. It's more about what we can do for our customers. And I'd like to use a couple of examples. Here we have business owners, Shalon and Sharika, who are the founders of TW Tote. And this is a real business, so if you want to check them out, you can. But anyway, Shalon and Sharika are new to the business world, and as new entrepreneurs, and if you've been in the game for a while, you probably remember this as well, that there are a few things that we often encounter when we're starting our business. We have this great passion and we have awesome ideas of what we would like to bring to the market. Do we have a product or service that people need? And of course, a lot of us start off with minimal marketing knowledge. So this may hinder us a little bit, but I also see it as an opportunity to really expand on your skill set. So just think of these three things. We've got that passion as business owners. We really feel strongly about our product or service that we're bringing to the marketplace, but we may be either we don't have the resources or the knowledge ourselves in understanding, some of the basic concepts of marketing. So here's my definition of what is marketing. It is creating meaning and telling stories. And basically, the way that most of us like to engage with brands is through that kind of understanding that brand, where they came from, what is their story. And creating that meaning using storytelling is really important. The next step in marketing is building that relationship, trust, and credibility. Um, we only like to do business with people we like, know, and trust. And one of the ways that we do that is, of course, by the third item here is by influencing customers along their journey. So as we are bringing in new people into our funnel at the very top of our funnel, we like to share information with them that builds relationships, builds that trust, and also gives us that edge when it comes to credibility over our customer or over our competition. So when I talk about the marketing funnel itself, there are usually 4 stages. Some people like to break it down to 3, but I like this 4-stage format that Google has set up. First, by building awareness, making people aware of your business who may not know your business. Get them to consider you as a prospective a vendor, someone that they would like to spend their money with. And then as we are working through that consideration phase, then we're looking at turning them into paying customers. And that is commonly known as the conversion phase. And then once we have gotten them to either engage with us, purchased our product or service, then we turning them into loyal customers. And that's where that brand ambassadorship comes in, because we want our best and our most enthusiastic customers to spread the word about our business to their friends and colleagues and family. So that is the marketing funnel broken down into those 4 major areas. And then, just as I said before, here is kind of that breakdown. So how do you reach new customers is a question you may be wanting to ask. And then, of course, during the consideration phase, how do you help them find the answers that they're looking for? And then, of course, getting them to, turning that into that conversation or that connection into a lead. And then, of course, to let them know that they can help you spread the word to their network of friends. So let's talk about reaching prospects and creating awareness. Now, again, this to me is one of the most overlooked. As I said at the beginning, at the end of the funnel, we have the loyalty. But at the top of the funnel, we have this where we're trying to get awareness. How do we get people to recognize our brand, become aware of our products and services, which will hopefully then lead to that engagement? So when we come to how do we influence those customers during the journey through awareness? Here's a question that you should ask yourself. How do you reach your customers? Are they doing a Google search? Are you coming up on Google when someone searches? Are you using word of mouth advertising? Are you handing out, business cards or flyers? Are you doing paid advertising? For example, Google ads, Facebook ads, paying for airtime on television, maybe, or even direct mail. Some of the offline kind of activities are still working. Are you trading? Are you attending trade shows where you can market your business? And of course, are you doing a search? Are they doing searches online? So there's several different ways we can build that awareness. Now, the awareness stage isn't necessarily the stage where we're making the sale or asking for the sale. This is the stage where we're just introducing ourselves, getting ourselves out there. Facebook is a great example of where you can do that by, creating a Facebook page, posting on Facebook, joining groups, those kinds of things. So, when it comes to Google as well, we have the Google Business Profile. And the Google Business Profile is also a helpful way to build that awareness. You can actually post on Google, your Google Business Profile, to help get the word out, to let people know about your business and what's going on. So when we talk about that, there's just three things that we want to kind of focus on. We want to identify who our customer is. We want to brand our business so that it's recognizable in the marketplace. And then we want to get our business online. So when it comes to identifying your customers, we look at it into, we look into a couple of things. Number one, we're looking at that market segmentation. What's the demographic of our, ideal customer? What are the psychographics of that ideal customer? Where are they located? What are where geographically are they? And what kind of behaviors do they perform in order to help you build that awareness? So identifying your customers with these 4 steps is important. You want to know who they are. You want to know what their psycho makeup or psychographic makeup is, where they're located geographically, and then what behaviors do they typically take? Are they moviegoers? Are they book readers? Do they attend conferences? Those are the kind of, are they online, social media, or are they engaging, like, for example, on LinkedIn? These are all data points that we should gather before we start to build our funnel. So we're looking at that. So here's an example of what I call a customer persona. Now, customer personas may vary based on how you define your ideal customer. Here is an example with Metro. She is in her mid-30s, a female in their mid-30s, single, lives in a large city, college educated, works in the fashion industry, and her interests are cooking, wine, travel. And she likes to shop locally. So when you think of your customer profile, this is a great way to kind of bullet point it out, where we're talking about these 4 things, the demographics, psychographics, geographics, and their behavior. And then once you have accomplished this and you've gotten your ideal customer, this is going to influence the remainder of how you engage with that persona in the other stages of the funnel. So when we talk about branding your business, now, of course, this takes many forms. A most common way of doing this is by developing a logo for a business and to identify the colors that our business can be recognized with. So things like, for example, on your website, you may have a color palette that represents maybe the industry you're in or the business you're in. It may even represent your favorite colors. But when it comes to branding, your logo and colors are important. There are several sites out there that can give you kind of that psychological breakdown of what businesses or what colors best suit a particular business. And I'll just give you a quick example. For technology, for example, orange is a color that a lot of technology businesses use, because that reflects kind of that innovative and creative aspect. Blues, for example, enthuse trust, but gives you the feeling of trust and loyalty. So logos and colors are important. I could probably do a whole workshop on just that part. And then, of course, we had that graphical elements. What images are you using to identify and build your brand? Are you using pictures of your office, either the inside or the outside? Are you showing your team members working with customers or clients? Those kinds of things. And then, of course, messaging and voice, even your out of office email uh, signature, or even your voicemail, message can help build your brand. So you have to take all these things into consideration, as well as being able to kind of, connect with your audience. Connecting with your audience, especially in the awareness phase, is key. And these are the three ways that you can do that. So branding is also based on values and ideas. So when we're creating our identity, we also like to appeal to our prospects in this way as well. We want to know they want to know who you are, who you want to be, and what you stand for. And one of the best areas, and this gets off a little bit, but one of the things I really think is important when it comes to your website and this part of the marketing funnel is your about page. So if you have really thought of your about page, your about us page on your website, these are the questions you're going to answer a new prospective prospect when they visit your website. They want to know who you are. They want to know, what got you into business, and they want to know why you stand out from the competition. So that is very important as well. So look at how your values as a business owner, play into that. And of course, brand positioning is also important as well. So when we talk about, that positioning statement, who do you want to serve? Who is your ideal customer? What do you have to offer? And then what differentiates you from your competition? And what is your brand promise or your mission? If you're a nonprofit, that mission statement plays really an important role in letting people know who you are. Your mission statement as a business to business entity or a B2C entity, that is important too. People want to know who you are and what you stand for. And then, of course, what you have to offer. So take that into account. So I have a quick exercise for you. So when you're thinking of your brand positioning statement, here's a real simple template to follow. And again, I will be sending these slides to you, so you don't have to, take a picture of the screen or try to save it. I will make sure that you get these. But here is an example. So we're looking for that, for your audience, who your customer challenge, what is the customer challenge or need? Remember, it's all about solving our customers' problems that they may have that it sparks them to want to communicate with us. And then, of course, how are we going to solve that problem with our product or service? What is the equalizer? What is the differentiator that makes us stand out? And then, of course, and then we have our brand promise or mission. So take a few minutes, and as I'm talking, go through this, and we'll talk a little bit about, I'll give you an example in the next slide, but go ahead and jot this down. And if you'd like to share your brand positioning statement, feel free to put that in the chat box, and I will read a couple out loud. So here we go. So here is our brand positioning statement example. For working professionals who need a stylish and functional lunch bag, now remember this is our entrepreneurs, TW Tote, provides fashionable, insulated, vegan leather totes because everyone deserves a luxurious and functional lunch bag the entire family can use. So in this short sentence, we have laid out everything that would let a customer know what we are about as business owners. So does anybody have a brand statement that they would like to share using this example? If you do, throw it in the chat. But just think of it as a way to open that door to somebody who does not know about your business or know you as the business owner. How are you going to communicate that? And having that brand positioning statement is key. So the next step in this process is getting our business online. And if you are a brand new, how many of you are new to your business? You know, maybe in the last year or so, you have started a business. If you wouldn't mind just putting a yes in the chat box. If you are a budding entrepreneur who just starting out, Jeffrey, cool. I see Sean, Richard. Richard's been in business for a while. That's awesome. But you know, here getting online is a lot easier than it used to be. Definitely a lot easier than it was almost 12 years ago when my partner and I started our business. But here are some key things that will help you. Number one, of course, social media, business directories like Angie's List, for example. Online marketplaces are a good way to get your business online, whether it's a YouTube channel or your Google business profile or your other social media accounts. Maybe you're on Pinterest or LinkedIn, those kinds of things. And then, of course, the next thing you want to do is you want to build your own online real estate, your own online presence. And we do that with our website. And this is something you own. Our social media profiles are basically out of our control. We're really at the mercy of platforms, you know, whether they're changing the rules of how we can operate as businesses online. For example, with Twitter changing to X, there are a lot of new things coming on that may not be as business friendly as they used to be. And that just means you really have to establish your own presence, your own real estate. I call it your online real estate because basically it is your storefront in the virtual world, just like your storefront in the brick and mortar world is out there. So you want to be able to control it. And then from there, you also want, you know, you want it to grow as your business grows. So whether it's a website, whether it's a something as simple as a profile page, you know, a link, what they call those link tree pages, anything that you have online, this is your opportunity to really kind of establish yourself in that what I call your online small business real estate. And Google actually gives you a free tool to help you do that. And that is the Google Business Profile. This allows you to manage your online business. One of the ways you can manage your online business persona. And your Google Business Profile, and just to give you kind of the idea of when this all, you know, why this all came to be in the first place, was back in the days of pre-internet. The way that we mostly engaged with each other was through the Yellow Pages. And that, of course, was a big old book that had business listings. You know, you could see the ads, you could see things like phone numbers and locations. So Google basically translated that Yellow Pages setup into an online version of the Yellow Pages. And it's gone through many iterations since the beginning, but now it's called the Google Business Profile. So things like, for example, how to get a hold of you. Uh, if I'm using, let's say I'm in the local area and I'm looking for a store, I can get directions to your store. I can visit your website. I can do things like get an online quote through your business profile. So if you have not created your Google business profile, this should be one of the action items I would take after this presentation. And the way you could do that is by going to google.com/business. And there are lots of online videos. Of course, if you go to Grow with Google, their YouTube channel and Google Business Profile has lots of videos on how to set that up. So once we've got our awareness kind of set up and how we're going to make prospective customers aware of our business, the next part of the funnel is engagement and influencing those who are now aware of us to consider us as a viable vendor that they would like to engage with. And when we're talking about the consideration stage, this is the stage that people have done after they have kind of done their research. So when you first go to Google, you're looking for answers to questions. You're looking at who's out there that can help me solve an issue. And now that I've compiled all my information, I am now looking at, okay, how can I engage with them in the consideration stage? So a few things that you would like to have to find those answers after they have evaluated your brand and gathered that information. Engage your customers by listening and learning. And this is one of the parts. This is a part of the consideration phase that I also think a lot of people overlook is the listening and learning part. And there's several ways you could do that. You can listen on social media. You can hear the conversations or see the conversations that your prospective customers are having amongst each other. You can see how other brands that are maybe in your space are interacting with them. You can communicate with them to deliver value. And here is the part of the funnel that is not about you asking for the sale. Remember, they're considering you and others who they may want to do business with. So this is not the stage where you sell. This is the stage where you inform, you build that trust, that credibility that we talked about in the awareness phase. You actually deliver on that. And one of the ways that you can do that is by providing them with some type of value. And it could be something as simple as an ebook. It could be a video tutorial. It could be just answering questions. Maybe you have a frequently asked questions section on your website. And the objective here is really to develop that deeper relationship with your prospects. So when you're listening and learning, you want to determine, a couple of pain points. With TW Tote, they use that, instead of a disposable lunch bag, they're using that fashionable, something that you could use over and over again. So you're going to determine what the pain points are for that customer. You're going to address their challenges. Why are they looking for your business in the first place? Because you have the answers. So you want to address those. And then find out, what they're searching for online. And you can use several tools to do that. And I'll talk a little bit about some of the Google tools. So one of the ways that you can kind of understand your prospect when they're in the consideration stage is, what are they searching for online? What are they going to Google for? And how do your customers search for the products that you offer? And if you're familiar with the search engine results page, you can see that, when you type in that keyword or phrase, you'll see ads at the top. Those are Google ads. People are paying for that space. You'll also see the organic results, which are a little bit further down the page. Your Google business profiles for those businesses would be, one in particular would be over on this side. And then here down at the bottom is a section called related searches. And this appears in several places as you're scrolling down the search results page. When you look at those related searches, you'll be able to see questions that people are asking, and that is part of the search engine results as well. Look at those, look at those questions. Look at the other search terms that people are looking at, and Google is suggesting those search terms as a way for you to further identify potential topics that you can talk about in your awareness and consideration phase. So if you're thinking, for example, you're a plumber and you see in the search results a question, how do I fix a broken faucet? Well, that might be a topic you can give an answer to through a blog post or a tutorial. And if you're like me, I go to YouTube a lot to look for how-to videos, how to fix my washer, which I actually had to do myself rather than go out and spend the money on a plumber. I went to YouTube to see some videos that people have already created that give me value in the sense that, hey, that is an awesome tip on how to fix my washer. And I actually subscribed to that person's channel. And see, that's how that plumber was able to build an audience, because he was giving out really good tips. But the way that you find out these types of topics for your business, product, or service is to look at those additional sections of the search engine result page. So looking at those related searches, questions that people are asking, those are good ways to kind of listen to your audience to see what they're looking for. Another good tool that you could use on Google is called Google Trends, and you can just do a search in Google to find it. Helps you explore what is trending out there. And if you go to Google Trends, you can type in any topic, keyword, or phrase. You can even break it down by where you are located, whether you're in a metropolitan area, or you want to see how maybe the whole country feels about a particular topic. And this really compiles all those millions, if not billions of searches that are going on online. And by putting in a related keyword or phrase, you can see the kind of activity that goes on as far as Google search is concerned. And this is organic search. So highly recommend when you're doing your research to look at Google Trends. And of course, communication is key as well. So you're going to share, and I highly recommend you think about a couple of things that you could do to share your knowledge in your particular industry. Can you produce a really informative checklist? Like I said, a video, an ebook. And if you are aware of what's going on with ChatGPT and AI, creating content like that is becoming very easy to do, and you can do it on scale as well. So think of what can you bring to the table as a way of showing your credibility, your knowledge as a business owner, and how you can solve a particular uh, problem that your audience may be having. So educate and inspire, help with research, give them the answers they're looking for. And of course, then, you've got to establish that expertise. Just the simple fact that we have become entrepreneurs tells the marketplace that we do have a level of expertise at our disposal. And you should not be afraid to share that with your audience. Share your expertise. And when it comes to sharing TW lunch totes, they took the approach of using what I call this omnipresent marketing strategy, where I'm using lots of different channels to reach my audience. I'm using social media. I'm doing email marketing. I'm using video marketing on YouTube. I may even do a podcast, a weekly podcast, or I'm doing some type of online publishing, whether it is a newsletter or a book, or not even a book, but a blog, for example. And then I'm sharing that information on my website. So there's lots of ways and lots of channels that we could use out there. Maybe we're doing a video on Pinterest, or we're sharing information on your Google business profile. Maybe there's an event you'd like to promote that you're putting on. Share your updates and your posts. This is one of the easiest ways to get out there in that search result page where people can find you. A lot of times they say, hey, if you don't have if your customer cannot find you on Google, do you really have the business? And your competitors would say, no, you don't, because they're getting the business. And remember, the search engine is the first place that a lot of us will go to, even just to do a little background investigation into the brand. So we're using that as a way to connect with our potential businesses like TW Tote. So we're looking at all these different angles. And like I said before, you're sharing and not selling. So again, think of how you can share your expertise with your audience. Are you comparing products? Are you doing those demo videos that I talked about? Are you even sending out samples? A lot of times, and this is a trick from Costco, one of the ways that Costco encourages us, I'm a Costco member, probably some of you are too, is that free sample table that they have set up. And then of course they're standing right next to the product that you're sampling, but giving a sample of a food product definitely, number one, causes engagement, and really takes you into that consideration phase. So if you have free samples that you can hand out, or you're giving away information, maybe you have an info product that you can share that only has, kind of the insider knowledge thing that you have, that you can share with your audience. Think of how you can do that. And of course, during that development and developing those relationships, you're solving that problem. You're carrying on conversations, and then you help them to evaluate you as a business and as someone they'd like to do business with. So let's talk about Tracy and Danny. They're the founders of Wicked Good Cupcakes, and this is going to take us into the beyond the consideration phase into the conversion phase. And so they're taking their business to new heights. They're going to learn more about their customers. They've identified opportunities to improve their website based on the research that they've done. It gives customers reasons to come back and to share their experiences. Again, you want that loyalty to be built in. So here's how we pave the way to a conversion. We're going to look at this particular part of the funnel, which when you look at that funnel, we're coming down from awareness, consideration, and now we're getting into the conversion. There's going to be fewer people at this stage than where we started. So what does that mean to become a customer? You're going to identify key actions that and prospects. You're going to share timely calls to action. This is the stage of the sales process or the sales funnel where it's okay to ask for the sale. You're going to streamline the process of purchase. So if you have an online store, for example, is it easy for me to check out? Do I click on a link and I can get right to the checkout page, or do I have to kind of keep clicking and clicking to get to the shopping cart, to get to the checkout page? Make this part of your process the easiest part, because this is where you can quickly turn that consideration prospect into a conversion. So how do we do that? We're looking at things like, for example, what are some conversion activities or actions? Maybe someone signs up for your newsletter. They have to complete a form. Maybe it's a request for a quote. Are you giving away a free trial or a demo or a sample? Do you have an app that they can download? Are you asking for a free, are you offering a free quote or consultation? And then for you e-commerce folks out there, are they actually putting an item into their shopping cart? These are all identifying actions of a conversion. So take a look at this list and think of, all right, is my website set up to do this? If your website is not set up to do this, or you don't have a mechanism on social media to do this, I know a lot of platforms now offer that online shopping functionality, but does this speak to your online presence, your website? Can I accomplish a conversion on your website? And then, of course, you're going to share timely call to action. A lot of us like the discounts or deals. Maybe it's an exclusive offer, an invitation to an event or webinar. Customer testimonials play a big role in this as well. So are you sharing those testimonials? And then do you offer things like free shipping or something that's value added? Maybe it's a buy one, get one. Think of the calls to actions that would then generate a conversion. And of course, streamlining that checkout process. Reduce the number of checkout steps. Nowadays, I see a lot of one-page shopping carts. Basically the description of the product, pictures, the checkout button that goes straight to the shopping cart, where then I can enter in my credit card and purchase information. Are you providing that? And there are lots of ways you could do that. And then, of course, the last thing we want to do is be able to track that online success by using tools like Google Analytics. Now, with Google Analytics 4 out there, and if you have not noticed, in last month, Google had switched to a totally different analytics platform. How many of you have Google Analytics 4 set up on your website? Put a yes in the chat box or a no in the chat box if you have not. If you are using Google Analytics to track website information, how many visitors you're getting, how many people have put things in there, in your shopping cart, how many purchases have been made. I see lots of yeses. Thank you, Sean. Thank you, Joanne. I see Sonia, yes. All righty. So even if you are, kind of exploring this, Google Analytics is a free tool. Doesn't cost you anything to use it. You just have to add a piece of code to your website. You can go to g.co/analytics. to sign up. And you do have to have a Google account in order to do that. So, and all the Google tools. If you have a Gmail, I would recommend setting up a Gmail just for your business. So that then gives you access to all the Google tools and put them under one roof. So I highly recommend that you do that. So when you're looking at, converting customers with online advertising, if you are advertising or using or thinking about using Google Ads, for example, to drive uh, people in various, and you can set up your ads for each of the stages of the sales funnel. You can set up an awareness ad. You can set up a consideration ad. You can set up a conversion ad. So you can think of, okay, all the things that I'm doing online and that what I've just been talking about, I can actually set up advertising to help me accomplish those things. And then, of course, with Google Ads, there are lots of different formats that are available. So you can deliver ads based on a person's position in your sales funnel that speaks to them at that stage. So I'm actually going to be doing a Google Ads a workshop coming up here pretty soon. So keep your eyes open for that. But if you don't think advertising is something that you need, I'm going to encourage you to reconsider that, because I think no matter where you are as far as your business journey, advertising is something that you definitely should consider. So the last part of our funnel, and I will take some questions if you have them, is building that loyalty and encouraging advocacy. We want to turn our customers into raging and loyal fans. So do your customers return? Do you have repeat buyers? And are you encouraging them to recommend you to others? That is one of the areas I think that a lot of people leave out in this. We're always happy when we get that sale, but we're kind of slow to encourage them to share their experience with their network. So we're going to build loyalty by providing even more value. We're going to sustain those customers' loyalty through programs and incentives. That's why those loyalty programs you may see online used by the big brands is very key and important. And of course, we're going to encourage advocacy amongst our customers. Maybe just by sharing their experience on their social media would be something that would help you get the word out. So think of, how can I help build loyalty amongst my customers who have paid? So we want to stay in touch with them. Email marketing, very important in this phase. You're going to provide stellar customer service, of course. How are you connecting with your customers after they've made that purchase? Are you asking for feedback? Are you continually improving your process? Look at how you can bring even more value to your audience even after they've purchased. And then you're going to delight them in unexpected ways. What is your wow factor? How are you going to stand out from your competition after the purchase has been made? So you may have things like, for example, exclusive offers that only your customers have gotten. Maybe you give a special discount for being a customer. Or you personalize programs, like, for example, referral programs. Online referral programs are an awesome way to reward your customers for them sharing your information. So you're going to do that. And then, of course, all these areas here when it comes to the advocacy piece, online reviews, testimonials, that referral program. Maybe you're running a contest or you give something away. And then, of course, you're encouraging them to share on social media. So here's Google reviews, very important, connected to your Google business profile. If you're not asking for reviews, you should. And you should think of how you're going to incorporate that into your strategy. So we're going to incorporate reviews into that. And then, who can be an advocate? Customers, employees, partners, vendors, and influencers. So there, the influencer market out there is very number one lucrative, but also can help amplify your own efforts by connecting with someone in your industry that has a larger, maybe even a larger audience than you do. So influencer and affiliates are very important in that process. So I've talked a lot about the marketing funnel, the process. Let's talk about, what are you going to do next? So write down one thing that you will do after this workshop to help launch your business. Are you looking at building that persona? Are you looking at what do I have to offer? What kind of value can I bring? And if you'd like to share those answers in the chat, that would be cool. So definitely Don is going to set up his Google Analytics accounts for his website. That's an excellent first step, because if you don't have the information, it's hard to make good business decisions. So Google Analytics will do that. Carol's going to set up her Google business profile. Awesome. Jeffrey's going to formalize and writing his business plan and project. Very cool. All these things will help. So just a quick recap. We're going to look at building those awareness, the awareness consideration stages, and really look at how we can build the top of our funnel in a way that's going to help facilitate those conversions. And then when we look at conversions and loyalty, we're just going to really kind of drive home that experience, shopping cart process, turning those consideration and awareness customers into conversions, and then making them loyal customers. So now that I've done that, I've got a few resources to share with you. Again, you can visit the Grow with Google YouTube channel. Lots of videos like this one that I'm doing for the webinar. And then, of course, if you have team members you'd like to get additional training for, whether it's on advertising or digital marketing, IT, Google has a certification program to help you do that. And of course, Google is not just for business owners, but for teachers, job seekers, and also developers. Everything that you see here is available to you online through Google. And then as far as SCORE is concerned, highly recommend, if you have any questions about the sales funnel and how it pertains to your business, reach out to one of our SCORE mentors by visiting our website. You'll find that that SCORE, especially here in Treasure Valley, we are already scheduling and booking up for October. So if you want to get on our calendar, go to our website, book a spot, and we'll look forward to talking to you. Again, here's my information. I'm John Walker. Really happy that you joined me today. And I hope that the information I provided was helpful. If you need to or would like to contact me, here's my contact information. I'd be more than happy to talk to you about any aspect of your marketing. And as a thank you, definitely here's that review part I was talking about. Scan this QR code and submit if you are so inclined, submit a review on this webinar. This goes to our Google business profile. So here's an example of how you can actually turn that into something that you use to help grow your business. So time is almost up, but if you wouldn't mind hanging with me for maybe a couple of minutes, I just want to answer a few questions. Let's see. All right, let's see. Chris is having an issue with having to, I have 2 verified and 1 unverified Google profile with the same URL, but different reviews. I'm not getting any hits on my websites, which is 4 years old. Should I delete 2 of the profiles? Are they causing problems with my appearance in the search results? That's an awesome question, Chris. I would say definitely get rid of 1 of those profiles, and you can delete them or shut them down. But keep the one that actually has kind of the most, information about your business. So delete 1 of those profiles. And then, of course, it does not affect your searches or where you appear in Google search. That is really done by your website. So maybe one of the things you need to do is have someone review and do an analysis on your website that can help. So, identifies maybe some holes or gaps in your websites that's not helping you get that traffic. Or if you don't have Google Analytics installed on your website, I would do that as a first step as well. Are there any other questions? All right, folks. Well, I really appreciate your time and attention today. And again, look out for a follow-up email from me that'll have a copy of the slides as well as a link to the recording of this webinar. And check out our website, score.org/Treasure Valley, to see our next webinar coming up, which is actually on the 20th. So go to our website and sign up for that. And I look forward to seeing you in the next presentation. So have a great rest of your day and a great rest of your week. And I will see you soon. Bye-bye.